Avoiding internet scams. Beware of Sugardaddy and Sugarmomma scams. This presentation is intended for everyone. Scams are a large and growing part of the internet. If you create a profile on a dating website, there is a close to 100% chance that you will be contacted by internet scammers. Among the scams that scammers will attempt to employ will be Sugardaddy and Sugarmomma scams. The intent of a sugar mama or sugar daddy scam is to fool someone into believing that he or she will be paid for providing companionship. In reality, the sugar daddy or sugar mama will expect to be paid. The process of a scammer convincing a potential victim to send him or her something that can be easily converted into cash is an example of social engineering. If someone at a shopping mall were to ask random shoppers for money now in exchange for something later, at some point, mall security would have the person removed. Connections to the internet have no such security. Even if scammers get banned from dating and social media websites, scammers can and will rejoin with new profiles. Be skeptical of predictions from anyone, including me. However, you can sadly but safely bet your life and the lives of any children that you have on the following prediction. In the remainder of 2023, many men and women will either not see this presentation and get taken by a sugar scam, or they will see this presentation and decide that somehow their sugar interaction will be real. I absolutely cannot provide an exhaustive list of red flags for online sugar relationship scams. However, I will list some common ones. Sugar scammer wants you to deposit any kind of check. Between the time you deposit the check and the time your bank notifies you that the check is not valid, the scammer will ask for some kind of incidental payment. Even if your bank gives you credit for the deposit, it will later be reversed. That leaves you far behind where you started. The sugar scammer needs your login information or credit card numbers. An email that alleges to be a payment through some kind of online payment system. The email will likely be sent by the scammer him or herself. Even if the email is legitimate, it may be from a compromised account. Anything to do with cryptocurrency or gift cards. Any reason for you to pay money to receive money. Regardless of which scam a scammer is employing, a scammer will often want to move communication off the site on which you and the scammer first interacted. That way the scammer can continue to use the profile that he or she used to contact you with to prospect for new victims. The scammer may even have a paid membership on a dating site. He or she will likely use fear of missing out in order to get you to ignore clear red flags. Fear of missing out should itself be a red flag. Rules to live by. If you are a man and someone online claims to want to be your sugar mama, and none of the red flags I listed are apparent yet, it is still a scam. If you are a woman and someone online claims to want to be your sugar daddy, and none of the red flags I listed are apparent yet, there is still an extremely high chance that it is a scam. Whether it is seconds, days, or weeks into a scam, intended victims may feel a need to electronically confront the scammer, as if it were the unmasking of a villain in an episode of Scooby-Doo. Spoiler alert, the scammer already knows that he or she is a scammer. If you confront a scammer with your revelation that he or she is a scammer, he or she may adapt his or her script to say something such as, "I am ashamed to have been caught scamming. I will now repent and turn to Jesus. Please send me X amount of money so that I may make a pilgrimage to Bethlehem in order to atone for my wicked past." People can turn their lives around, but not in such online encounters. Instead of confronting, just block and move on. Message the original site where you met that the user is a scammer, but it is quite possible that the original platform may not care. If any dating site were to actively remove profiles of scammers pretending to be women searching for men, that site would have very few profiles of women. Someone has promised to pay you for online companionship, but none of the text that he or she has sent has contained the word sugar. Is there still an extremely high chance that it is a scam? Yes. The mere fact that a scammer has adapted his or her script to not contain the word sugar does not mean that he or she is not out to scam you. Should parents make their children aware of internet scams? Yes. The intent of this presentation was not to act as a tutorial on how to scam, but rather for viewers to become ever more vigilant of scams. Even in the extremely unlikely event that this presentation succeeds in specifically stamping out Sugardaddy and Sugarmomma scams, scammers will latch onto the next new scam making the rounds. If all that I achieve with this presentation is to make you wary of Sugardaddy and Sugarmomma scams, then I will call this presentation a spectacular failure. This presentation was adapted from my website, therationalconsumer.com. That's a long URL to type, especially on mobile devices. So I've created the URL http://trc.credit that will redirect to the main site, trc.credit, not trc.com, not trc.net, not trc.org, not trc.horse. Actually, http://trc.horse and many browsers' address boxes will get you to my site. If you're on your work network or VPN, it might not like using the trc.credit redirect. In that case, either type the full therationalconsumer.com or use a non-work device. Being wary of Sugardaddy and Sugarmomma scams is an important part of avoiding internet scams. Hopefully, people will use this information that I've provided, but I may be running a long con on myself if I think I can even slow down the rate of growth of internet scams.